This crypto cycle is not over until we get an alt season. We are hearing people call bearish price action. People are afraid, they are fearful, they are claiming we are in bearish territory now. However, in this video, I'm going to explain to you why I believe price is completely bullish and we will be looking to the upside for an alt season in November and December going forward. Now, on the weekly time frame on the total market cap chart, we have printed a beautiful weekly candle. We've come in and taken out this wick down here, the sell side liquidity, and we've closed above. Originally, when we had this liquidation event, I was claiming that price won't come down for another retest to fill in this wick. And the reason I was claiming this was because the whole point of this liquidation event was to capitulate and liquidate any longers around these areas, and that's exactly what happened. So why would price come back down to allow people to get in at better positions? And therefore my question is, did people actually buy and re-enter into their positions again? I believe not. I think they will be afraid and scared to buy as price came back down. And the reason is because they're confused. They don't know what's going on in the market. Of course, we know as price came back down, we were ready to buy, and that's exactly what we did. If you've been following my channel, I've been telling you exactly where I've been buying. Now, on the weekly time frame, we've taken out sell side liquidity, we've closed above. We have a fib from this level down here up until this level. We've tapped into 78.6 and 61.8, and we've closed above. We've closed above this sell side liquidity down here. We have the dealing range, and we've tapped into the discount side of the dealing range, and we've also closed above. Now, is this not bullish to you? This is looking very, very bullish to me, and I'm expecting price to move to the upside. Now, the only caveat I can give down here is if I just remove this, the only caveat is I would have liked to see price come a bit lower and tap in to the liquidity resting down here. And you'll see this a bit more clearer on BTC. Now, if I put in a fib from the overall swing low to the overall swing high, we do have room to go lower. On the monthly time frame, if we have a look at it and we put the fib back on, price can come in and tap into at least the 61.8. Now, I do believe that we've already created the low of November. So in December, we may get a move to the downside, and then we'll see the move to the upside. Let's go on the daily time frame. So on the daily, we can see we've taken out liquidity, we've come back up, and we've got a fib from A, B. We haven't yet tapped into 61.8 or the 78.6. However, what we have done is tap into this fair value gap down here. And we've also, if we put in the dealing range from these areas, from here to here, the swing high to the swing low, we've tapped into the 50% of the dealing range. So what we may get is a slight pullback, tap into this order block and continue going higher. Now that may take us to the end of the month, and we may get the pullback that I was telling you guys about. I'm hoping we don't get it though. I'm hoping that we will just continue moving to the upside. It's just something to be prepared for any movement that we do get to the downside. If we do get that move to the downside, you know exactly what we will be doing. We will be buying, we will be spot buying, and we will also be leverage trading on our positions. Now on BTC on the weekly time frame, we've got beautiful, beautiful price action. What we've seen and what we were expecting was for price to come in to the 100K region on BTC, and that's exactly what we have done. Now, the only concern that I have is we haven't yet taken out this sell side liquidity. I said to you, I want to see price come into at least 98K, and we came just shy of it. I wanted to see price come in a bit deeper. So now that's the only thing that is making me believe we may come back down in December and take out this sell side liquidity. Now, if we was to just put in a fib from these areas, from this low to this high, what we can see is if price does come in, we want to look in the regions of around 98 to 94 or anywhere between this fair value gap. So let's just call it the midpoint of, let's just call it 90K. So anywhere between 98 to 90K is where we want to see price come into, and then we will get the move to the upside. Now, this is an extreme scenario. I'm hoping this doesn't happen and I'm expecting it for not to happen. However, we need to make sure that we factor this in. Now, going forward, looking to the upside, if I remove this fib and now I put on a fib from this level to this high, what we can see, and this is beautiful, on the weekly time frame, we tapped into the 78.6 and we closed above. We've taken out this liquidity and we've closed above. We've tapped into 100K and we've closed above. These are all bullish signs to us. On the daily time frame, if I remove this now, what we can see is, although we created the break of market structure on the weekly, we've closed above it. Now, prices come in and we are currently around the regions of, if I just put in a dealing range from this swing high to the swing low, we're coming above the 50% into the premium side. We've also got a fib, which I believe we've tapped into the 61.8 and we're currently just rejecting off it. Let's see how this daily candle closes. I want to see price continue pushing to the upside, taking out market structure. And when we get a daily close above this level here, 110, 111K, this is a good sign for us. This will be a great sign because we may come above, get a pullback, and then continue our movement to the upside. Just before we go into Ethereum, one thing to notice down here, and this could be the push that we get to the downside, is the CME gap. We have a gap down here, and usually when we get the gaps, we normally see the gaps get filled and then we continue moving to the upside. Just as we have a gap down here, the gap got filled. We have a gap down here, the gap got filled. So that's one thing to just pay attention to. Now on Ethereum, on the weekly time frame, what we can see is we have a dealing range from this swing low to this swing high. Prices tapped in to the discount side of the premium dealing range, we've closed above. Prices tapped into this sell side liquidity, we've closed above. We've also got a fib from this low to this high, we've tapped in the 61.8 and now we've closed above. On the daily time frame, things are actually looking pretty damn good. We've got a dealing range from the high to the low down here on the daily time frame, and we've closed above in the premium side of this dealing range. We've got this fair value gap down here as well. We've also got this area down here, so we have closed below the 61.8. So again, just coming back on the weekly, if we do get the move to the downside, I'm expecting price to come in, and now we can put on a fib from this swing low to this swing high, and then I will expect price to come into at least the 61.8, if not tap into this order block down here, and then we'll get the movement to the upside. Again, I'm bullish from here onwards. I wouldn't want this to happen. However, if it does, it just gives us a better opportunity to buy at better prices. Now, coming back on the daily time frame, what we could see in the short term is we've got these areas down here. We're rejecting, and if we close as a doji, we may come back down and tap into the order block and then move to the upside. Remember, we need to factor both scenarios. If we don't get this move, we've got this doji candle here, we could continue moving to the downside. Again, I don't want to see that happen though. Now, last but not least, XRP. So I entered a position on XRP last week, Friday, as we got that move to the downside, which I'll show you in a second. But if I just show you in the weekly time frame, things are looking very clean on XRP. We had this fake break of market structure and price came back up. That was my first sign for me to enter into this position down here. Now on the daily time frame, what we saw was we've got break of market structures. We had a break of market structure, price comes back down. Fake break of market structure. I'll go on the lower time frame in a second to show you exactly where my entry and how I entered. Now we're coming into the 78.6. We may, depending on how we close, if we close above, that's a very, very good and clear bullish sign that we will continue moving to the upside. And I'm hoping we do. If we reject the level, we could come back down, tap in to this order block down here, and then continue moving to the upside. Minus the fact that there's a possibility from the fib of A, B, C. If we close below it, we could get the full completion of this fib level coming into the regions of 1.89. Now, just going on the lower time frame, I'll show you exactly very quickly how I entered into this position. Now, what we had was price continued moving to the downside, creating break of market structures. And then we had this candle wick to the upside. Then we came back down, came up, break of market structure, break of market structure, break of market structure. Then we come back down. So as we had these break of market structures, I was looking for price to come back down at least to the 61.8. So if I just remove all this noise for you guys quickly, we've got the fib level here. We've got the fair value gap down here. And my entry was slightly higher than usual. And I think that's probably got to do with market volatility, as I actually was looking at the market around this region, but I got tagged in slightly higher. My stop losses were just below this wick down here. If price did come back into that wick, it was likely going to come in and take out this low as well. So I kept my stop loss at this wick down here. Let me know if you guys entered in any positions that I called out on my channel and also on Twitter. Now, the market's looking great. I will keep you guys updated on any other positions that I take and on any other movement that I see. Now, if you like these types of videos, I trade the ICT strategy on crypto. So if you can subscribe, like, share, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video.